Good evening and welcome to the Township Committee. Wow. New mics. Good evening and welcome to the Township Committee meeting of April 25th, 2023. Ms. Porter, please call the roll.
Committeeman Chicarelli.
Here.
Committeeman Rowe.
Here.
Committeeman Thompson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Britting.
Here.
Mayor Lapani.
Here.
Administrator Ferreira.
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here. Please join me in speaking flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on April 25th, 2023. First order of business will be approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of March 28th, 2023?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Chicarelli.
Yes.
Committeeman Rowe.
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson.
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor Britting.
Yes.
Mayor Lapani.
Next, we'll move on to reports from our committee liaisons. We'll start off with Committeeman Chicarelli.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. From the building department, I want to address, now that the summer's coming, that pools have specific requirements for installation and barriers. These requirements are intended to provide protection against the risk of accidental drowning and by restricting access to the pool. Seasonal pools may be temporary, but can pose a safety issue if the barrier requirements are not properly met. So please stop by the building department for more information and to get our residential swimming pool guide, which is also available at the building department website. From the engineering department, they want to remind businesses and homeowner associations that they are responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of their stormwater facilities. For example, detention basins, catch basins, and pipes. Lack of maintenance will cause additional flooding to adjoining properties. In addition, per township ordinance, all property owners with private stormwater facilities are required to submit a report to our engineering department each year, certifying that the facilities are being maintained and operating to their design. And these reports are due by June 30th of each year, so in the coming months. For Public Works, Hillsborough's Arbor Day tree program this past Saturday provided free bare root spruce trees, blue spruce trees to residents and students that had signed up for the program through the Public Department of Public Works. Our arborist, Mike Conover, was on hand to answer any questions. Trees were purchased from the Arbor Day Foundation using the township's tree mitigation funds. This yearly event continues our commitment to helping replenish Hillsborough's tree canopy. In recent years, the emerald ash borer disease has infiltrated the area and has nearly killed all of the ash trees in the town. Roughly 1,000 trees were handed out through this program to be planted by residents. And lastly, the Planning and Zoning Department, if you are looking to do exterior improvements to your property and cannot locate your residential property survey, the zoning for the zoning permitting process, the Planning and Zoning Department may have it on file. If the property survey was submitted with, especially if it was submitted with a prior application. So you'd have to please file an OPRA request, Open Public Records request, that's found on our administration page on the website, Hillsborough-NJ.org. to see if your property survey is on file. So that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Committee Secretary, committee in the room.
Thank you, Mayor. From the Recreation Department, Summer Fun has just begun with the Recreation Department. The 2023 Summer Activities Guide is packed with activities and events for everyone. Keep your kids active this summer with art programs, yoga, golf and tennis, STEM programs, summer basketball leagues, as well as summer sports camps, clinics, and music academy. There's something for everyone. Sign up today at www.register.communitypass.net/Hillsborough. From the Health Department, never bundle plastic recycling in plastic bags. Plastic bags should be put into the curbside recycling, should never be put into the curbside recycling for any reason, as they tangle the equipment at the recycling plant, which causes costly delays and results in recyclable material being sent to a landfill. If you need additional storage room for your curbside recyclables, please use the additional containers instead of plastic bags. The Hillsborough Health Department, in collaboration with Hillsborough Pharmacy and the Amwell Pharmacy, will offer free blood pressure checks and COVID-19 booster vaccinations on Thursday, May 4th and May 11th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Health Department. Social Services Department, April is Volunteer Month. A proclamation later on this agenda honoring our volunteers. The Hillsborough Township Social Services Department volunteers are part of the glue that holds our community together, especially for neighbors experiencing food insecurity. Through our services offered, the Hillsborough Community Assistance Network, known as the CAN, the food pantry is housed in the Social Services Department. Volunteers help by checking expiration dates, sorting groceries, preparing groceries for clients, and inventory control. These hardworking volunteers collectively dedicated over 1,000 hours of service to CAN in 2022 and over 400 hours this year already. If you're looking to give back to our community, please consider volunteering with the CAN. Donate your time, talent, or treasure. It can make you feel fulfilled and helps build a community. It could be a fun new experience. Fill out a form and contact the Social Services Department at 908-369-3880 for more information. If you are experiencing food insecurity, please do not hesitate to reach out for help by calling the Social Services Office. That concludes the presentation.
Thank you. Committeeman Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things for me this evening. First and foremost, a big thank you to the Hillsborough Baseball League. I was joined by my colleagues, Committeeman Rue and Committeeman Ciccarelli, to their opening day festivities last Saturday. I know I threw a strike, and theirs were pretty good too. So they all threw strikes. They just had to ice their arms afterwards. But we do thank them and look forward to them having a great season this year. Also, from our police department, just a quick reminder: do not leave any valuables in your vehicles. And with the warmer weather, more folks are out on the roads walking and biking. So just a reminder to all the drivers and the walkers and the bikers: be very aware of your surroundings. I know today I was driving on Amwell Road, and if you haven't noticed, there's a new crosswalk that's been installed. The path to get to Anvent and Littleworth Park, you can press the button and activate the crosswalk. And saw two different cars just blow through with the lights flashing. They're there for a reason, so please take your time, drive safely around Hillsborough to keep all of our residents safe. And one other reminder from Borough Safe, Hillsborough's community collaborative dedicated to mental health awareness and suicide prevention will sponsor the 5th annual Hope for Tomorrow Mental Health and Wellness Fair on Friday, May 12th from 5 to 7 p.m. The event will take place outdoors on the grounds at the municipal complex, but will move indoors if inclement weather is expected. You can see the Hillsborough e-news for more information about that. Thank you, Mayor.
You always throw a strike.
Always.
Throw a strike.
12 years of it. Assistant.
Deputy Mayor Priddy.
All right, thank you, Mayor. All right, so over the last couple of weeks, Committeeman Ciccarelli and I had the opportunity to meet with the senior chapter meetings, both A and B. John and I had a real nice time with the seniors, and we had the opportunity to chat with them and share with them some of the initiatives and how the township supports our senior population, which is pretty significant. And I know Committeeman Ciccarelli and I are looking forward to, and the rest of the group here is looking forward to engaging with that population. So thanks so much for allowing us to join there. So just a few things here in relation to the tax assessor. So the township offers tax deductions to veterans and also senior disabled persons that qualify financially. To learn more about these deductions, please visit the Hillsborough Township website on the tax assessor's page or by calling the tax assessor's office at 908-369-8077. There is also a senior freeze program in Hillsborough and throughout the state, actually, that reimburses eligible senior citizens and disabled persons for property tax increases on their principal residences. So if someone would like to find out more about this program and see if you qualify, you can visit the New Jersey Division of Taxation website at www.state.nj.us/treasury/taxation/ or by telephone at 1-800-882-6597. Can anyone memorize that? No, I can't either. So you just go to the website, check it out. All right, next, one other item from the tax collector. Just a reminder to our residents that second quarter taxes are due by May 1st, which is not too far away, with a 10-day calendar grace day period. Save the postage and the trip to the office by paying online. This one's easy at www.hillsborough-nj.org. That's much easier. So the Hillsborough Business Association, or better known as the HBA. The HBA is excited to announce our 2023 Summer Networking Social, which will happen on June 22nd from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Landing in Hillsborough. Join us for a night of mingling with a few fellow business owners and entrepreneurs, as well as the Township Committee and the staff here at Hillsborough. Light appetizers will be served on the beautiful patio at the Landing. If you sign up for the HBAE News, you'll be one of the first to register. Visit hillsboroughbusiness.org to sign up, and follow us on Facebook at Hillsborough Business Association for more updates. Let's have a little bit more for you guys. So from the clerk's office, Ms. Borak, the Hillsborough Mayor Wellness Campaign would like to improve the programs offered and address additional needs. The purpose of this survey is to get your opinions about community health challenges. Hillsborough Mayor's Wellness Committee will use the results of the survey and other information to identify health challenges that can be addressed through community action. I think this is a great opportunity for people to give their opinion because that's what matters the most. So thanks for jumping in and being a part of that. From a sustainability standpoint, we are very proud to announce that for a 12th year in a row, towns across the nation are taking part in Wyland Foundation's National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation. We're encouraging Hillsborough residents to take part in the challenge again and take the pledge by April 30th, which is right around the corner. Help Hillsborough be one of the most water-conscious towns in America by taking the short pledge at mywaterpledge.com. Your goals can be as simple as taking shorter showers or fixing leaky faucets. Taking the pledge can also have you enter to win thousands of dollars worth of prizes, including having utilities paid for a year. That's it. Go to sustainablehillsborough.com for more information. All right, just two more things for me. So this next one here is for the National Day of Prayer. May 4th is the National Day of Prayer, and our interfaith community will be hosting a brief service on that day, May 4th, at 11:30 a.m. here in the Garden of Honor. All are invited to attend. I ask you to attend if you wish to do so. I think it's a terrific opportunity for people to get together. Cleanup. We have two opportunities to help keep Hillsborough a beautiful township. Both of these events are a fun way to get out, meet fellow residents, and learn more about our programs. Taking place this coming Saturday, April 29th, residents can either assist the Hillsborough Millstone Municipal Alliance in the Adopt a Highway program by cleaning up a section of Route 206. Residents participating in this event must be over the age of 16. They need to watch a brief training video and then complete a waiver. The second option is on April 29th, to assist the members of the community in beautifying yet to be determined park area. So residents of all ages are welcome and also must complete a waiver to participate. Look for the form in tomorrow's e-news to register, and I'm assuming Ms. Borak, that will be up soon, which park we choose. Great. Yeah.
And also it'll be weather dependent.
Gotcha. Weather dependent. I think that's terrific. We want to keep this township beautiful, so thank you very much. Mayor?
Deputy Mayor? All right, you weren't aware of it. National Library Week is coming up. It was first sponsored in 1958 and is a national observance sponsored by the American Library Association, the ALA, and libraries across the United States each April. It promotes library use and support. We are fortunate Hillsborough has such a vibrant branch of the Somerset County Library System right here in our own complex. Be sure to visit their website for more information and their upcoming programs. We have some more important dates I just want to inform you as we have some people here. Our annual Salute to Military Service Breakfast will take place on Saturday, May 27th. All military service personnel, veterans, their spouses, widows, and widowers of veterans are invited to attend. You can register for the breakfast by calling the Recreation Department or visiting the Parks and Recreation website and following the Register for Activities link on their homepage. At 10 o'clock, help us honor our veterans by lining the streets of the annual Memorial Day Parade, which will also feature classic cars, the Hillsborough High School Marching Band, and many local organizations. As mentioned at last meeting, Marine veteran and our own Hillsborough Township Police Officer, Rick Tishner, will be this year's Grand Marshal. If you don't know where the parade is, it's all along New Amwell Road. So that's where it is. The Garden of Honor ceremony will immediately follow the parade. The salute to military service breakfast will take place rain or shine. However, the parade and Garden of Honor ceremonies will not take place in inclement weather. And also, please mark your calendars. Our always popular Independence Day celebration will be Saturday, June 24th. We will have our Family Fun Day, as we call it, and fireworks. In addition, we'll have inflatable amusements. There will be great food tent, games, and live music provided by Gypsy, a Fleetwood Mac cover band. Another one coming up, the clerk's office recently received a service medal that was found at a parade in Hillsborough. If you or someone you know lost a service medal, please contact the clerk's office at 908-369-3535 so they can help you determine its yours and return it to the rightful owner. But as always, stay connected with all events, more via our Wednesday e-newsletter. Be sure to follow the official Hillsborough Township Facebook page, Twitter, and now Instagram, TV29, the Hillsborough YouTube channels, and Hillsborough alerts for traffic and safety emergencies. So that's all we have for our announcements. Now we have quite a bit of important recognitions to do. And please bear with us that we have about 7, all of them are important. And as always, we will take a brief pause for those who wish to leave, and then we will continue the rest of our meeting. We have TV here, so I got to have additional mics. So, can you hear me? We on? This one's on. Yes. Good. So if you haven't noticed, there's a bunch of officers around the back of the building here. There's no small reason. We are honoring today certain officers that basically saved lives over the past year. All right. So could Police Officer Dylan, Eli, Tiana Ramos, and Rich Tishner please come up. So, police officers Dylan, Eli, Tiana Ramos, and Rick Tishner have been awarded the Department CPR Life-Saving Award. On January 7th, 2023, officers Eli, Ramos, and Tishner were dispatched to the Alton Road Intermediate School on the report of an unresponsive male youth in cardiac arrest. With CPR in progress by Good Samaritan Cindy Nurse, Todd Sudol, Stacy Narula, and Kathleen Holman, the officer administered oxygen and a shock from the school defibrillator. Jonathan Morrow was revived and taken to Hillsborough to a hospital in stable condition. Now therefore be proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby extend our sincere gratitude to Hillsborough Township Police Officer Dylan Eli, Tiana Ramos, and Rick Tishner for saving the life of this individual and for being shining members of our community. The committee also like to thank Cindy Nurse, Todd Sudol, and Stacy Narola, and Kathleen Holman for their outstanding assistance in this emergency. And I'd like to call up Jonathan and his family. Cindy's here. And Stacy also. Come up. This is Todd. Todd Sudol was also one of our trainees. So this is the fathers when was here, and this is what a lot doesn't see what our guys and our gals do here at our police department. Stuff behind the scenes, but the training that goes on, the fact that they were able to do it and save this young man's life, so he's here standing with us today. This is what the to serve part is really good, and I have full faith in every one of our police officers back here. If they were called to the same task, they would perform it just as well. So I'd like to thank all our police department for all they do today, but especially these three individuals for this thing, and what a great thing, and also Mr. Sudol and everybody else that stepped in to save this young man's life.
What do I say? I'm touched by each and every person who is here, and there's so many heroes. The police officers that came within minutes to save my son's life. They saved his life. They saved my family's life, and they saved the school community of St. James's life. And all of his team was there. How many people could have been affected negatively if these fine police officers, fine trained police officers, were not there? And I was thinking about this while I was sitting there and seeing this packed house, how I credit each and every person sitting here who pays taxes that demands this type of response from their police officers. You all are heroes, every single one that pays taxes, to make sure that this police force does and trains and consistently does what they're supposed to do and goes above and beyond to save lives. It's a credit to everyone. It's a credit to the Hillsborough community. Thank you from my heart. Thank you. Jonathan's a young man of no words. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I love everyone here.
More,
Very sad.
closer. Wait, one more.
Just one more, please. Thank you.
God bless.
Okay, so we have some more. Police Officer Ahmad Tomar, please. And Lizzie? Oh, Frank, sorry. Frank. Got two. Hillsborough Police Officer Aman Tomar and Frank Blizzi have been awarded the Department CPR Life Saving Award. On June 13, 2022, Officers Tomar and Blizzi were dispatched on a report of unresponsive male in cardiac arrest with CPR in progress by Brink Security Officer Laszlo Eversos. So I said it wrong, I apologize. Officer Tomar and Blizzi arrived at the scene and continued with life-saving measures for 6 minutes until the rescue squad arrived. Subsequently, the pulse was regained and the patient was transported to the hospital. He was reported to the following day in stable condition and improving. Now therefore be proclaimed that we, the mayor of the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby extend our sincere congratulations and appreciation to Hillsborough Township Police Officer Almon Tomar and Frank Lizzie for saving the life of this individual and for being shining members of the community. We'd also like to thank Brinks Officer Laszlo Eversace for his heroic CPR efforts. I don't know if Laszlo's here. Okay, no one's here, and let me see. Okay, so congratulations and thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor and Township Committee, for recognizing the hard work of our police officers. They are the best. They're well-trained. They take their job seriously every day. The community is in good hands with these officers out there. And there's no greater accomplishment in this profession or this career than getting a chance to save a life and giving the family a second chance to be with them. So thank you, officers.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, so we're going to recognize some outstanding teachers here. So I'd like to have Superintendent Volpe come up also. So our first recipient is Donna Griggs. Donna Griggs, a high school biology and environmental science teacher, has the honor of being named Hillsborough High School's Governor's Educator of the Year for 2022-2023. She has been a member of the Hillsborough School District for 14 years. Donna Griggs has co-developed and is currently teaching the new honors research in molecular biology. She is also the volunteer advisor for Days for Girls and Girls Up clubs and at the Hillsborough High School. Molecular biology, great. Man, I feel old and very small. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, further commend Donna Griggs for being recognized as Hillsborough High School Teacher of the Year, and we thank her for all her work and dedication to Hillsborough. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's a true honor to be selected for this, especially when I work with a staff of amazing teachers. The fact that I was chosen out of all of them is just true. Thank you.
Oh, we need a picture first? Namisha Jane. Namisha Jane, an instructional assistant, has the honor of being named Sunnymead Elementary School's Governor's Educator of the Year for 2022-2023. Has been a member of the school district, for 10 years. Namisha assists teachers in the classroom in grades 2 through 4, working with individual children and in groups with a variety of subjects. She has also assisted with special programs, assemblies, and after-school programs. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, further recommend Namisha Jane for being recognized as Sunnymead Elementary School Education Service Professional of the Year. And we thank you for all her work and dedication to Hillsborough. Congratulations.
Thank you for this wonderful honor. I really love working in Hillsborough District. I also want to thank my colleagues and staff for their support. Thank you.
Okay, economic growth, I guess, EDBC people. All right, come on up here. Gotta wrangle them into. All right. One second. Okay, so especially post-COVID, I think this is very important. America's economic growth has been driven by the resilience of our small businesses. This country's 32.5 million small businesses create nearly 2 out of 3 jobs in our economy. Hillsborough Township supports and joins in this national effort to help America, and more specifically Hillsborough's small business grow their business, create jobs, and ensure that local communities remain vibrant. Now therefore be proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby proclaim April 30th to May 6th as National Small Business Week. Standing up with me are members of our Economic and Business Development Commission, so I'm going to hand the mic to them and they can tell them their name and what business they work.
My name is Jeremy Lees, and I own Founder Burn Company right down here on Amarillo Road.
I'm Minnie Ajit. I'm the owner of Vibrance. It's a ticketing platform.
I'm Tito Sharma. I'm a CFO for a small company, not in Hillsborough, but I still support our businesses and trying to bring more businesses here.
Greg Wilkie, I own Pinnacle Health and Fitness.
Abid Medawar, Magnate Worldwide.
Dan Rosenblatt, Home Inspections.
My name is Amy Denholtz-Lewandowski, and I just became the owner of Jazzercise Hillsborough.
Susanna Karras, Economic and Business Development Director. I just want to acknowledge all the businesses in Hillsborough and the positive impact.
Slide it.
Suzanne.
Priya?
For preeclampsia, that's me.
Yes.
Trey Sean Powell, yeah.
Hypertension disorder?
You want me to come forward?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I called your name.
I know.
I'm sorry. Okay. Preeclampsia is a life-threatening hypertensive disorder of pregnancy. Approximately 76,000 women and 500,000 babies die each year worldwide, and Black women experience severe maternal morbidity 3 times greater than white women. The symptoms of preeclampsia are severe headaches, swelling in the hands and face, visual issues, nausea and vomiting, stomach and abdominal pain, sudden weight gain, and shortness of breath. These symptoms can arise postpartum as well. Preeclampsia can lead to seizure, stroke, multiple organ failure, and death of both mother and or baby. The Somerset Promise Walk, chaired by Trey Sean Powell, participates in an annual countywide event to support innovative research and raise public awareness about the warning signs of preeclampsia. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, hereby declare May as Preeclampsia Awareness Month, and vow to continue to support efforts towards research and public awareness. I'm to admit this course because I've never heard of it before, so I'm not aware.
Yes.
No problem.
As the chair of the Somerset Promise Walk for Preeclampsia, I am very honored to stand here and receive this proclamation from Mayor Lapani. The Promise Walk for Preeclampsia is created to improve the outcomes of hypertensive disorders of pregnancy by educating, supporting, and engaging the community, improving healthcare practices, and ultimately finding a cure. I'm very grateful for these words of proclamation acknowledging the month of May as Preeclampsia Awareness Month. Surely this event will stand as a landmark for our city in Somerset and also in Hillsborough, and for preeclampsia survivors in the state of New Jersey. As a survivor of HELLP syndrome, which is ultimately the severest form of preeclampsia, and ultimately losing my daughter, Mia Jane, as a result of the diagnosis, I feel personally connected to this cause and will continue to educate our community and healthcare providers to ensure for better outcomes for birthing people and their children. We are holding our Somerset Promise Walk for Preeclampsia on Saturday, May 6th at Colonial Park in Somerset at 9 a.m. And I hope to see you all there. Thank you again, Mayor Lapani, for proclaiming May as Preeclampsia Awareness Month. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
National Volunteer Week. So all those here that volunteer in any capacity for anything in township or nationally, please come up and stand. Sure. You get paid. National Volunteer Week. Look at all the volunteers. I'm sure there's a few back there that didn't want to come up. That's all right. We got all we're good. Standing room only in the front. How about that? So National Volunteer Week is about inspiring, recognizing, and encouraging people to seek out volunteer opportunities in their communities. Hillsborough Food Bank, what known as the Hillsborough Community Assistant Network, also known as CAN, for those who don't say all that at once, has been serving the community since the early 1980s. In 2022, 117 volunteers contributed 1,542 hours of their time sorting and distributing food to the Hillsborough families. CAN volunteers processed 493 donations. In 2022, there were 663 visits by 78 local families receiving bi-weekly groceries, holiday meals, and holiday gifts. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby proclaim April 16th to April 27th, as National Volunteer Week in honor of all Hillsborough Township's volunteers for their outstanding service to our community. And I'll just say, just recently, obviously during COVID, there was a very large stress on this, and we never, or they I should say, never gave up, always had something to give. We had food drives, we had stuff outside anywhere we could do it. So even during the most darkest times, all these people were part of it and kept everybody fed, clothed, and healthy as long as they could. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
All the volunteers we have throughout the township, those that made it here tonight, and those that couldn't be here tonight, we couldn't do it without their help, so thank you.
Everybody squeeze in.
Can folks come in closer?
Maybe some down in front, and when one volunteered.
Violent.
Yeah.
Last one.
Thank you.
So to our school teachers, always take public speaking because you never know when you're going to need it, right? All right, our last one is about the environmental benefits and purification of, so it's a Earth Day presentation. Have anybody here for Earth Day? Would like to come up and stand for Earth Day? Trees provide environmental benefits, including air purification, the production of oxygen, wind breaks, and noise reductions, cutting heating and cooling costs, monitoring the temperature, and providing habitats for wildlife. Planting trees and maintaining older trees provides an opportunity for community interaction, volunteerism, economic development, and environmental services. Trees increase property values and beautify our community. Now therefore be proclaimed that we, the mayor of Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby proclaim April 28, 2023 as Arbor Day and urge all citizens to celebrate and support efforts to protect our trees and the woodlands. As a landscaper or as an arborist, I can't tell you how many trees I find in this town, but I am all for it. Congratulations.
So I just want to thank Hillsborough for everyone being so sustainable, and especially our sustainable Hillsborough steering committee that does so much work.
Okay, so this concludes our proclamation presentations this evening. So thank you again to all of our recipients and to all those who showed up. We'll take a 5-minute pause here, so it's 1:15, so 20 after we'll restart the meeting. Okay, we're back, thank you. So if we move on to our resolutions, we have resolutions 1 through 15 this evening. Is there anyone who would like to take any of these resolutions separately? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve these resolutions?
So moved.
Any comments from Des? Any comments from the floor on resolutions? Consent agenda, excuse me, consent agenda 1 through 15. Anything like that, sorry. Can you hear me now? So we're on to consent agendas 1 through 15. Name and address for the record. as usual.
Yes. Meryl Bisberg, 4 Hickory Hill Road, Hillsborough. Can you explain what the stormwater outfalls are and what area does it cover? Is this Green Hills or is this the whole town?
It is the whole town. Stormwater outfalls are anywhere where water comes out of a pipe into a catch basin, a stream corridor, basically any water that would come out and go into another body. So, for example, if you have a pipe that goes through and comes out over in my development, comes out between the homes and goes into a creek in the back, that is a stormwater outfall. And it's throughout the whole town.
So you had one bid, is that right?
We had one bid and we rejected it because it was much higher than we anticipated. But to be fair, there was, because this is all mandated by the state, and we're trying to then work through this to make the bid specs less constrictive, give some more time to get it done, because essentially the original bid had to be done in 90 days, which was almost impossible.
Sorry. The other one is the one on affordable housing. Where is that? Still in here, isn't it?
Number 13, resolution amending 2014 resolution endorsing the amended housing element and fair share. The Hillsborough Master Plan is adopted the Township Planning Board. Number 14.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, this came up at the planning board, I guess that's why you're bringing it.
That's correct.
So the resolution, I'm sorry, the report, the master plan, fair share plan, housing element. So this is replacing really, if I understand, the one that was submitted for propose a year ago, right?
So the same question you asked last time, the only change in the whole paper is to amend the end, it's the last paragraph of the whole thing, establishing a preference for veterans. Everything else is the same. And there were some math errors that was explained to you via Ms. Beam in the credits that we had, which allow us actually to have some credits on our table as opposed to being.
Okay.
But
So
everything else in language in the report is the same as it was submitted 2 years ago, I believe.
it was last March,
Yeah.
a year ago. But again, it had the finance information. This doesn't.
Again, because this is only one part of it, it is not the whole thing, which was explained to you last time also.
Okay. So does that mean that the finance information that was submitted last March is still what is being submitted now?
Correct. And there's still some things, as explained by Ms. Beam, that are being looked through by the special master and the courts, because that was basically what we had as supply, so they still have yet to officially approve the document.
Okay. So there's some things that, there's an ordinance 2021-6, I think it is, that replaces our affordable housing. And there are some things in there that aren't reflected in that plan that was submitted, especially in the finance. So I just want to remind the Township Committee that there's a section in there, and that document is one of the documents that supports the affordable housing proposed application. It's one of the core documents. And it was passed 2 years ago. So section 188, 139A, use of funds. Administrative funds may not be used for income qualification of households, monitoring the turnover of sale and rental units in compliance with codes and monitoring requirements. Legal or other fees related to litigation, opposing affordable housing sites, or related to securing or appealing a judgment from the court are not eligible uses of the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. So there's a $200,000 charge that I believe it's the judgment for Campus Drive. And that is in the finances. It's not shown in that report, but it's in the financial information. So is that going to be reversed?
I'm not sure, I don't have the document from me to read it, but it's got to be presented to the special master and approved by the special master. So if it's in there, it may be, I don't know, but you have to pull it up at another time, but I don't know. But to be fair, that everything that we submit has to be approved by the court and the special master. So if they seem that that doesn't belong, I'm sure we will find out, but I'm not sure what in particular we're talking about.
Well, also submitted was $500,000 for every year beginning, $500,000, the minimum for every year beginning in 2021 for affordability assistance. It's in the spend plan that was submitted. When did that get spent? Who got that money? I assume it's
That's a
for.
question right now, I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, I really think that we need to go back over, 2021-06 for compliance. I mean, all the phasing is in there, a lot of things. We're not even supposed to be spending administrative fees from our Affordable Housing Trust Fund.
Again, this is what your opinion is. Everything we do, we submit to the court, the special master for her approval. So if it's deemed inappropriate, we'll be told if there is something in there.
So they have your financial records for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund for the last 3 years?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Jill O'Connell, White Meadow Road. I have a couple questions on the bids for the stormwater outfalls repair, et cetera, et cetera. This is the first time I've ever realized what they were. Do these only include outfalls that are on public land, or are they also on private land? Do you know?
I believe, maybe just no offense, but I believe it's any outfall that the township is required to maintain. So if it's on private property, I would doubt that is something that we would need to do. It's not an easement, I should say, between homes, but it's something on a private piece of property. I don't think that'd be something.
Okay, so if it was on like conservation easement, that might be? Okay, and would this sort of thing also maybe pertain to retrofitting, if you will, some of the drainage basins? I'm taking a class through records extension, and it has to do with a lot of these things. And they were talking about how some of these basins can be made even more.
You talk about detention basin?
Right,
So
detention and retention basins, both,
Okay,
how
so-
they can be made more efficient.
So that's not part of this study. This study is basically, we had to identify in a GIS map, as Ms. Bellows does,
Okay.
all the different outfalls that are within the municipality that we would be required to clean, maintain, et cetera, and then assess the damages and repair the damages. So that study was done last year, and now that we have the list of repairs that we need to do of the 178 or so outfalls that we are required to address, and that's what we need to have done during a certain period of time by the DEP. That's not just Hillsborough, that's the entire state.
Okay, and so if I'm aware of a couple of these outfalls that you may not be aware of, who would I talk to?
If there's one that you feel is not on our list, you can talk to our engineering department. But I would say that we probably got most of them, but I would, if you feel there's something, just make sure that we have it. That would be where you would go.
Thank you very much.
Let's go Devils, right, Joel?
Yes, absolutely.
Anyone else on consent agenda? 1 through 15. Okay, seeing none, we have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Chairman Chigarelli?
Yes.
Mayor Rue?
Yes.
Chairman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Brennan?
Yes.
Mayor
Yes. We're on to public hearings. We have one here. 2023-04, an ordinance amending Chapter 188 of the Land Use and Development, Article 5, Districts and Standards, Section 188-107.2 TECD, Transitional Economic Development District of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. This amendment removes warehousing, shipping, and receiving located completely within an enclosed building as a principal permitted use and removes parking standards and associated with warehousing. The removal of the said use and standard would apply throughout the TECD zone, which is the Transit Economic and Development District. I have a motion open to the public hearing ordinance 2023-04.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Is there any discussions prior from the dais prior to the? All right. Comments from the floor on 2023-04. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Amanda Curley from Dave Pitney. I don't think I need to give them an address.
Just
1 Jefferson Road, Parsippany.
There you go.
We represent Homestead Road LLC with respect to its pending planning board application for preliminary and final major subdivision and site plan approval to construct 2 warehouses on property located at 189 and 203 Homestead Road, and also identified as lots 32 and 33 in block 200.10. The property is located in the TECD zone, which is the subject of this amendment, zoning amendment. So we're here tonight to simply place our objection on the record as to these proposed changes to the zone to remove warehouses as a permitted use. For one, the town has absolutely no basis for removing warehousing as permitted use and hasn't proffered any planning report or planning testimony or study indicating why such removal is appropriate. The TECD zone is located right near Route 206, and it's immediately adjacent and adjoining to the light industrial zone, which permits warehousing as a permitted use, and there's no change to that zone. And I believe there are also warehouses located just a couple feet down the road. So it kind of makes no sense why we are prohibiting it in the TECD zone, but not in the light industrial zone. 2, we object to the removal of warehousing as this action is incredibly broad and removes many types of industrial uses without a clear reason for doing so. Again, no planning study, no report, no testimony. It's a carte blanche restriction, and if the town wished to fine tune it, I understand that, but here it's just no warehousing. Last, we note that this ordinance and change to the TECD zone and the removal of warehousing as a permitted use does not impact our pending application before the planning board, because we're protected pursuant to the municipal land use law and the time of application rule, which protects applicants from zoning amendments such as this. So as we proceed before the planning board, it will continue to be viewed as a permitted use. And that is all I have for you. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi. Bill Martin, 237 Hillsborough Road. First, I have a lot of calls about how this zone was originally introduced. I sent documents to Mr. Boyce that he requested for this, and I hope to have a meeting with him soon. So that's not what I want to address this evening. I've done a lot of research on the transitional economic development district. And it seems this district is only in Hillsborough. No other towns in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, or any other state seem to have it. So this zone was created for Hillsborough by Hillsborough. And since vague language that has to be interpreted, such as, number one, transitional, number two, all uses shall be provided at a scale and size that is appropriate to the district. Number three, encourage the development of employment areas near residential neighborhoods with design that ensures peace and solitude of the residents. Number four, provide for employment centers close to residential development to reduce vehicular traffic and encourage alternative modes of transportation. I think Hillsborough, through its committees, boards, and residents, is the only arbiter of what belongs in this district. For example, if there was an application which was grossly inappropriate for this zone, and it was denied, wouldn't a mediator or judge, if it went that far, have to conclude only Hillsborough can make the decision as to what belongs there?
Anyone else?
Rich Garment, 53 Winding Way. I just want to make sure everybody understands, general warehousing isn't permitted there. It's warehousing, shipping, receiving, located completely within an enclosed building. You guys made a definite distinction between what kind of warehousing you would like there. And now you're eliminating that total warehousing from, correct, right? So any previous applications would still have to abide by this particular wording of warehousing in a fully enclosed building, correct?
It would have to meet the standard or ask for a variance.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? I'm John Shockley, 189 Homestead Road. So I agree with what you said. That was very good. But I think what bothers me is that we're in the middle of applications for warehousing in town. And to me, and I hopefully it has no effect on my property. It's a knee-jerk kind of thing to do. I think we should let the dust settle on where these warehousing applications are currently going. And I think at some point, maybe instead of the 30 or 40 or 50 people that constantly are complaining about what's going to happen to the property or somebody else's property, maybe something like this is that should be, I don't know if it can be done, put on a referendum to the people in this town. There's what, 43,000, 45,000 residents in this town, whatever that number is. Maybe it's something that we need to put it out there to everybody, explain the pluses and the minuses. I'm tired of the taxes in town. They can sit there and they can say, you know, we don't need this, we don't need that. So I think they testified 1.2 million ratables on my property on what's going to happen. We need the money. I mean, the roads need the money, the school, I understand, and I don't know if it's official, they're talking about expanding the school. Where's it coming from? My pocket, their pocket? And we're all complaining about that. So I think this is something that we all have to take into consideration. Where do the ratables going to be? I think the CDC was that, what they had planned on happening. Unfortunately, the bypass didn't go along with the CDC. And even today, we struggle with it. And the other part about this that I think bothers me, they originally had a bypass road to get from Homestead Road, servicing the light industrial and the transitional zone to Hillsborough Road. How that was allowed to fall off the plan, whatever the logic was, I don't know. But maybe that's something that the town needs to pursue back with the state to service that area, because it does seem crazy to me that we have a light industrial transitional zone and no straight access onto the bypass. So just my thoughts. I think really should we let it go? Again, I'll repeat one more time. Should we let go right now? Let the dust settle on the applications, or seriously consider a referendum thing for people in the town to make a decision besides the select group of complaints. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Okay, Joe O'Connell, White River Road. After looking at all of these things that I was said, I'm really not sure what the difference between the light industrial zone is and the TECD zone. And I would like to have that further explained in detail so that it could, right now I'm looking at these and saying, this sounds just exactly like the light industrial zone, and trying to figure out how this is a more residential friendly zone than what is over on Stratford Lane already. It doesn't seem to me that it's all that much different.
The light industrial does allow warehouses.
Oh, but yeah, but so did this, until you tried to, until you put this resolution to eliminate the warehouses. So, when I was looking at the original TECD zone, now you're getting rid of warehouses, but other than that, what's the difference? It didn't seem to me that the TECD zone, as it stood, was that much different than the light industrial zone.
There's a lot different with the light industrial. It's much longer paragraphs here that can be allowed with gas stations can be allowed in light industrial. There's a huge difference. I can't even begin to list all the differences between the two zones.
And there are some similarities, which is probably why you're confused, but there are distinctions, not only to uses, but buffers, the parking, et cetera. So if you really want a true answer, you would say, just go over to the planning department, maybe they can explain it to you better.
It's chapter 188-107.1 in our books. You can look up at light industrial, and right after that is transitional, and you see the difference. They're vastly different when you get into it.
Okay, and the restrictions on sizes, it didn't seem to, be that it was specific to, other than the saying appropriate to the zone, it doesn't seem to really state that much the difference in sizes. That was in other words, you could have a health club, if you consider Pinnacle Health Club is one, but then the one that's across this road from on 206, which is huge, it seems to qualify for that zone too. So I was kind of, seems to me that sizes should be incorporated into that also. Maybe be more specific.
Well, I think, not to get too far into it, but in the transitional zone, I think it references back to chapter 188-83, which is the sign design standards and criteria, which has a whole host of what's allowed. So it references, if you look in there, it references back to our design ordinances.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, you gotta.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Bill Martin, Hillsborough Road. One more time. Just to dispute what Mr. Shoffley said, there aren't 40 or 50 people in this. There is a handwritten petition door to door of over 700 people who signed against this warehouse.
Pittsburgh, 4 Hickory Hill Road. So kind of in the same line with what Joe was saying and what Mr. Garner was saying. If the warehouse application, if the TECD zone is not appropriate to warehouses, I don't know how it would be appropriate to, for instance, manufacturing, which is also a high intensity use. And I suppose, I don't know if manufacturing is designed with the inventory that's produced by a manufacturer able to be kind of warehoused and shipped from there. So I could see also very high intensity use there. And the other thing is the bulk standards are really in that zone are really set up for warehouse and manufacturing. So why would we keep the zone, take out warehousing and leave the bulk standards the same way we would? And the other thing I want to mention is 6 months ago now, a member of the township committee mentioned or presented a slide at one of the township committee meetings. It was right before the election, and it said Hillsborough Township needs to redefine the definition of warehouses based on recent guidance from the state of New Jersey. And there was information about the roads, working on turning geometries, getting other modes of transportation, optional multimodal design. There was information about location and scale, size and structure. I mean, that's what we're talking about now with this ordinance. And my question is, when was this going to be done? Was this, this was right before the election, but I don't think anything's happened on this. And we're in the middle of all these applications.
I will tell you that it's all part of the master plan review, which we're in the process of doing right now. So looking at the whole holistic town in general, which I think we said last time too when we did this, that it would be all done during the master plan, but you tend to forget and have amnesia about certain comments that are made. Okay, so it is being done. It is being done via the master plan review, which you asked about when it needs to be done. We're doing it in the past, doing it right now. And all that will be decided and changes will be made on a holistic basis, based on guidance given from the state, which of course, another unfettered mandate from the state. Look at it, we're not going to give you any teeth behind it, but these are recommendations. So if they really wanted to be against warehousing, they would give us some laws to use, but they didn't. They just said, these are guidelines, right? These would be nice if you could incorporate some of this stuff, but they give us no power.
Local control.
Right, so that's what we're doing. We're taking local control, we're looking at all the districts holistically, coming up with the master plan review like we need to do, and then all that will come out and when that's complete, as stated before.
Mr. Mayor, didn't you also report on turning radius and weight limitation studies that were completed as?
That's correct. A few months ago, too.
Didn't get the answer, whole aspect, but
They provided.
I believe that organizations like IEEE have warehouse definitions and run the gamut of, what we have on Stryker Lane now, all the way up to this high intensity warehouse.
I would argue,
Really?
just you brought up local control, so I just have to make my little plug. When we talk about local control, the state doesn't really give towns local control. That is a complete misnomer. We've seen that with affordable housing time and time again, where we have very little local control over that. We want to get into the discussion about flooding. The inland flood rules, which if they would have been adopted originally when they were proposed last year, but never actually put forward by the governor and DP, we can't go further than the standards they have in place. We can't go further than that. We can't go further than definitions that they have to prevent warehouses. These are things that are fact. These are not just what we want. These are facts that the state sets the guidelines of how far you can go. So as far as local control goes, we all love to say we have home rule here in New Jersey. Time and time again, that's not true. Look at the school boards. Standards are set from the state and then adopted by the school boards. Zoning things are set up by the state, and we have areas where we can adopt. Yes, you can tweak and go down left and right a little bit. But at the end of the day, we can't suddenly say, we don't want to have any manufacturing anywhere in here in Hillsborough. We do that, you get sued, just like Bridgewater is being sued right now for saying no more warehouses in one section of town. They're being sued, I think, for $27 million. So the state, the courts, as much as we love to brag about home rule here in New Jersey, it doesn't exist for 2/3 of the things we wish it could. Would we love to prohibit building in most of this town because of flooding? Absolutely. Are we able to do that based on the laws of New Jersey? No. That's why, again, as I encouraged at the last meeting, I'll encourage it again, if you could, contact your governor, contact your state representatives and ask them why New Jersey has not adopted those inland flood rules. Why were they proposed a year ago, then pulled back, and then suddenly repurposed, and now it's just been sitting? There's no reason. Every one of these warehouses that every person is concerned about here in Hillsborough probably would never have moved an inch forward if those flood rules were put into place a year and a half ago. That's a reality. So if you wouldn't mind, if you could agree with me to call the governor's office and call DEP commissioner and see if they could move forward on this, because I have, and I hope you do too.
So I actually do remember that in July, I came to a planning board meeting, and at the time, those rules were suggestions still, and they were open for comment. And I specifically asked our planner, who is not a planner now, but was a planner at the time, if the township had given comment, if there was any feedback, how they felt about those rules. And the response I got was, it's common sense. I don't know why a planning board wouldn't want to do common sense rules on its own
Yeah.
before they were.
But I believe you sent in a letter of support at a meeting in September.
We can't
before
impose
the-
flood laws that are illegal in the MUL standards.
So, but just to be clear, we supported those. We sent in a letter supporting them. I attended more than one hearing on them because they're important. And again, I ask you if you could call the governor's office like I have and ask them to adopt these rules. They're that important.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, Joanne, you got one more?
Joe O'Connell, White Meadow Road. Besides the governor and the DEP commissioner, who else could I contact? I don't know this.
Well, as far as those inland flood goals,
Yes,
they currently reside with the commissioner, but they would be the ones that would have to adopt.
right, right,
So that's the phone call, it's the commissioner's office.
okay.
I mean, the process it goes through is the commissioner's office receives comments from the public. So first they propose, and they set out for proposal, and that's when, like we did, we commented on that.
Right, right.
So
I
that,
have
then, that's great, thank you. So then it closes that comment period. At that point, the deputy attorney general that's assigned to the DEP would have to review it, and they work with the department to see if there's changes. There might have been a suggestion that came from someone that they said, wow, that's such a great idea, let's make sure we include that, because we didn't think about the category 1 waterways. They did, but just said I forgot that. They would then change it, and as long as it's not a substantial a change to the adoption, they would then move to adopt. They can move to adopt at any time. So it's really up to the commissioner. Of course, the governor's office gets to
State
vet them as well.
representatives?
You can absolutely call Senator Zwicker, Assemblyman Fryman, and Assemblywoman Jaffer, but ultimately, it resides with the commissioner to move forward. They're the arbiter on that. However, if you want to see more stringent rules regarding flooding adopted not by regulation, but by statute, that's where Senator Zwicker, Assemblyman Fryman, and Assemblywoman Jaffer come into play. That's where you can do things like changing warehousing, where it would be an accessory use in every single district and have to go through zoning board instead of just being able to say it could be in any zone like that. They have that power to change the MLUL. That's where they have the ultimate power in the state legislature.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I don't see anybody else getting up. John, all right, thank you for all your comments. So we have a motion, we have a roll call, please.
Mayor, I'll make the motion to move and adopt.
Okay,
Second that.
roll call.
Commissioner Chicarelli?
Yes.
Mayor Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Senator Britton?
Yes.
Mayor
Yes, full knowing that we know it doesn't affect any applications that are in process or deemed complete at this time. And so for the record, we are fully aware of that. Okay. Thank you. Go on to, no introduction to this, we'll go lastly to the claims list of 2023-07. May I have a motion to approve 2023-07?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Councilman Days. And Councilman Flora on 2023-07. Seeing none. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Chicarelli?
Yes.
Mayor Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Mayor Britton?
Yes. Yes. The last item will be public comment for matters not on the agenda. Ms. Ward, please read the statement regarding public comment.
Township Committee welcomes input from the public. Please state your name and address. Please spell your name for the record. You will be given 1 3-minute allotment for your comments. Please understand that this public forum is not structured as a question and answer session. Comments are to be addressed to the mayor. Again, please keep your comments to 3 minutes.
So any comments on non-agenda, if you have to come up, you'll get a 3-minute clock here and we'll let it roll. Anyway. Okay, seeing none then. We'll have now a motion to adjourn and a motion to adjourn.
That's a move, Mayor.
Second. Roll call, please.
Chicarelli?
Yes.
Mayor Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Mayor Britton?
Yes.
Mayor
Yes. We are adjourned. It's 8:58. Thank you all for coming. Have a nice evening.